Hello everyone, Sheik here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series 86 unofficially, but Transformers the movie, Mixmaster. Mixmaster, the master of mixing and all that. He is pretty cool. He is not the first one I've gotten of the set. He's actually the last, but I was holding off on reviewing him for a variety of reasons, blah, 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 backlog, yada, 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 all that stuff all over again. But he was the bugger that was holding me up for so very long. Pre-ordered on Hasbro Pulse. There was an issue with it getting charged. Eventually I had to cancel it because for whatever reason, well, it didn't go through. And then I also ordered on Walmart.com, but I didn't realize that was through a third-party seller that was in China. And I waited for like weeks and weeks and weeks. This is unacceptable. I had reached out already multiple times. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna cancel it. So I canceled that one, canceled the Hasbro Pulse one, and I ordered Mixmaster on GameStop. And lo and behold, he was actually on the original Voyager price point, not the new one. He is pretty cool. I will admit he does have some drawbacks, as he does form a limb. He forms the leg. Obviously, all the Constructicons form some part of a larger robot of Devastator, but he does not have a waist rotation. That is the biggest drawback to him. But he does have a hip ankle tilt right there. So I guess you could consider that a point of articulation, because I mean, most people, or I mean, not toys, but most action figures, I guess, of people generally have a ball joint right in there. So yeah, you could get side to side, but only on this direction though. Head does have some nice detail, although it is a bit recessed in there, but it does look pretty nice. He can look up and down, and his head can do a full 360, although it is a bit difficult to do so given that it is recessed in here. One complaint that I do have is this part right here, and I'm sure there's probably going to be a third-party thing that will probably have you replace that so that you can at least put on the missiles that would be on the original toy. I don't know for sure if that's what it looked like in the cartoon or if it did have the full-on missiles right there, but that is something that I don't particularly care for too much. But if it is too inaccurate, okay, then I'll won't quibble about it as much. I do like the painted detail right there on the chest. That is a very nice Decepticon emblem, and the plastic feels really high quality. I do like it. He feels nice and hefty. Has it just feels much better than the than some other figures of the past. Sometimes I wish I still had my Combiner Wars Devastator. I got rid of him a while back when I got a third-party Devastator, which at this point I'm probably also going to get rid of because, you know, the collector's eternal hunt to get the best version of a character that they like. And that's kind of where I think I might end up getting some upgrade kits, might not, but I think the Studio Series Devastator is going to be like my perfect figure. Not necessarily most accurate to the cartoon or most stylistic choice, but I think hopefully will be the perfect balance between playability and accuracy. Anyway, but like I said, very sturdy feeling. The wheels are pinned in, although that's more of a vehicle mode thing. I guess for the rest of articulation, and also that is one downside to this guy, is that the mushroom peg on this arm is a bit weird. It could be that it just needs filed down, because this one doesn't seem to have the same issue, so I might just need to do a little bit of work on that mushroom peg. But given how thin his arms are up here, it does make sense that they probably weren't able to get it quite perfect. But yeah, it does look like I'm going to need to maybe file down on the edge of the arm right there. That is the bicep rotation, I guess. Arms can do a full 360 that way, and before I pop that off, The shoulders can go out that far, but it is a little bit stiff, and you have to use that sort of transformation joint. The arms can do about 90-degree bend, but the elbow is in a little bit of a weird place. It doesn't look horrible, but it does look a little wonky, but I don't have a big problem with it. And I think the Mixmaster from Combiner Wars wasn't necessarily any better, at least standalone. And also, I hated the fact that they went with a different model of cement truck. That is another thing I didn't like about the Combiner Wars. And let's see, like I said, there's no waist rotation. Legs to go forward that far, back that far. Got thigh rotation. Can do you can do the full splits and a little extra. And has about 90-degree bend at the knee. And then I guess if you want to, you can also break his knee, so to speak. But that's also more of transformation. And you do get pretty decent amount of ankle tiltage. And this guy has a lot of pins. And also, one thing I didn't point out is he does not have any wrist rotation of any kind. I'm sure they could have engineered it if they really, really wanted to. But at the same time, it's not a deal breaker for me. But as you can see, like there's screws, pins. This guy just feels very well put together, even if he isn't as articulated as we've gotten spoiled with. Like, I will admit, we are definitely spoiled in recent years with the quality of the figures. Now, that's not to say we haven't had any stinkers. There have been some stinkers that we've had. But generally, at least when it comes to the 86 style or the ones that aren't the live action figures, it seems like we've gotten some really, really good figures as of late. His blaster is just a basic little black molded plastic gun. It's just this little thing. Doesn't really look like it would do much, but it is there if you want it. And that's pretty much it for his robot mode. So, swap. And here we have Mixmaster in his cement mixer mode, and I think they did an excellent job with it. I do love the way this guy looks, and I do also love that Decepticon emblem on the front. Even though it is split down the middle, you can still clearly make it out. There is a little spot to put his little rifle on in vehicle mode, but you could also put it here, and it doesn't look like there's a spot underneath to put it, but you could probably put it there, maybe try shoving it somewhere, but I doubt it would really fit in there. It looks like there might be a couple of combiner points right here. I'm not sure exactly how it works because I have not, because instructions for Mixmaster, they only have information for how to transform him between robot and vehicle, not into his combined limb mode. But I'm assuming probably slides in here, and then this obviously flips up, and then, comes a leg. But that's more of for a Devastator review. But one thing that is done, that you have to do when you get them out of the packaging, is this right here, the whole cement mixer cylinder, barrel, whatever you want to call it, is not attached. You kind of have to push it into place. I don't know how. Okay, it's not terribly hard to pop it off if you so desire, but it is popped off. I don't know exactly what the design choice for that was, instead of just screwing it in or gluing it on. But whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. Anyway, that's about it for Transformers Studio Series Transformers the Movie Mixmaster. Maybe smaller than Combiner Wars, but definitely makes more than up for his articulation, detail, and awesome cement truck mode. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.